Hi. So y'all might know me, but I'll go ahead and introduce myself again. My name is On, and I'm the third member of Ikigai Studios. You've probably seen from the previous videos of the three-part series so far. Brian's the director and Kevin's the producer. Well, my job is, hopefully, to become the music producer and composer for the studios and our work. I won't lie, this video is very much scuffed, especially since this is my first one on the channel. Well, there's also the fact that
every day I wake up.
So, yeah. I also want to preface that in no way am I going to be speaking with any expert knowledge on music theory in this video. I'm currently in an undergrad program, so hopefully my basics will only get better going forward. There are far better YouTubers out there with amazing videos. I would personally recommend 8-Bit Music Theory or Charles Connell. They have great videos talking about music and popular media. So go check them out if you have time. Moving on though, I hope that this video is a short watch into how my music process works. Both my train of thought and the frustration that comes along with composing. When Brian, Kevin, and I first brought up the idea of the three-part series, I wasn't sure what to do exactly. Should I continue with the previous work I started? Should I find some inspiration that I can go off of?
Should I come up with new melodies?
That's exactly what I did. But to make my life easier, I decided to do an rendition of the main idea on the piano before deciding to transpose it to different instruments. The composition that I wanted to start this series off is the theme of the neighborhood that Brian and Kevin covered in their videos. For a while I wondered about how to go about writing a theme. Some inspiration I went off were Zelda soundtracks, like Terrytown. It captures the vibe of the environment very well in a way that it helps put the player right into the world. I wasn't sure if that was the right way to go about it, so fortunately, a friend of mine at school gave me an idea when we were playing around with composition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write my composition with a variation in mind. Variation form in music is where the main theme can be taken and twisted with different rhythms or notes. Or in this case, we can call it the motif for our humble neighborhood. Having a main melody that we can work with into other motifs in the soundtrack can work both as a storytelling element as well as something that the viewers can recognize while watching. With compositions I've done so far, I think what I need is something along the lines of simplicity. You know the saying, less is more sometimes? Well, if that's the case, let's start off in the good old key of C major. Let's start off with the note G, the fifth scale degree of C major. I'm feeling a bit daring today. I have been getting a refresher about modes in theory class, so I'm going to start by explaining that. To spare the jargons and such, modes are basically notes within a key signature that would form a scale based on the tonic note. This means this G note would make its own scale. However, there will be no sharps or flats since it's in the key of C. That's the tonic note. I hope y'all got that.
Kevin here, and fuck you on. Anyways, back to the video.
Anyway, let's make that mode real quick. Let me get my notation software. Alright, let's see how this sounds. Alright, that sounds okay. So, a trick that I've learned to make a melody more interesting is that you mess around with the rhythm. So let me just do that right now. And, let's take a listen again. Look at that. That made a lot more difference than I thought already. You can hear the line lead onward to another phrase, which I will be addressing after this. Usually how I write melody lines is that I find a phrase that I like, and then I repeat it either 2 times or more, and then end it with a variation of that phrase that would lead it forward. In that case, let's add a little more of this start of a melody we have. I'll add an arpeggio that goes downward in thirds to contrast the climbing nature of the Mixolydian scale. So let's start on the E below the G and listen again. Oh, wow, I actually might be onto something here. I'll take that phrase, repeat it again, but this time I'll lead it to a leading tone at the end so it has somewhere to go. This will be a secret tool to use later in the end product of our theme. Though the rudimentary melody I made here works, I also want to play into the part of the quote-unquote neighborhood environment. For Project L.A.M.B, the neighborhood is a place of beginning as well as a place of opportunities. How can I capture that sort of feeling? By coincidence again, I rediscovered a tidbit of melody I wrote and then, forgot about it in the void. It's a short 2-measure line, but for some reason I feel like this can work. So let me work my magic real quick, and what I meant by magic is a day of procrastination and frustration that my music software would crash on me for no reason whatsoever. The whole idea of this piano rendition to keep it simple and not complicated, so that I can go back later and add more to it. Keeping it simple also allows me to work on variations that I talked about earlier. So without further ado, here's a short piano rendition for what I hope to expand on as the theme for the neighborhood. For those who watched the video to the end, I would like to say thanks. I understand that though it may be underwhelming for the time being, I hope that future video continuing forward from the first 3-part series will let you guys, see our growth in what we are passionate about. Thank you for watching, and please continue to support us in the future. I appreciate it.